Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the court card of the Queen of Stones and the Bear. And when I was thinking about this card and meditating on it, it was, okay, great. Now I feel protected, right? Because she's going to protect her young no matter what, at whatever cost, all right, even if it's hers. But she is looking out over that sun and just, looking out over the kingdom and just saying, you know what? Who am I going to protect today? And, to me, that's us, right? Us that are on our journey as we're moving forward. And she's looking into the future as I have it laid down here. Okay, so, this card represents power. She's also a protector of the land. And the way I like to talk about the court cards is this queen, she is, the queen of materialism. So she knows everything that's going on inside the castle, right? Who's got security, who's got stability, who's got the materialism, right? It's all about understanding how people are using their finances, or in this case, as we were talking, asset allocation, okay? But she does like to, protect things, protect those that are in her castle. The King of Stones, which is the wolf, he likes to protect everything that's in his realm, okay? But she's all about, richness and plenty, and she's popular with everybody because, she has the stability, she has the security, she has the advice to help you move forward, okay, on your path. And we've had a lot of it, people giving us that advice, right? The Archer, keeping our eyes on a prize. The Knight of Stones, which just fell off, helping us push through to the finish, okay? And showing us, where our stubbornness is holding us up, okay? This queen comes to you at a time that, yes, you've just woken up and the seers greeted you. She's very dependable. For the next 6 or 7 days, she's going to be, walking with you, as you're working on your asset allocation. And nothing's going to happen quickly, okay? She's going to plant some seeds. She's going to talk to you a little bit, and, listen to your intuition. Listen to your guides as you're moving forward, all right, with what she has to say. If this is you or a person in your life, okay, she's going to come across as being very practical, okay? And just like I've been talking about, spending that extra $8 at Starbucks, right? She's going to look at that and she's going to be very blunt with that message and say, why are you doing it? You could be making coffee at home, okay? But she's going to do so in a welcome, come in here, sit down, let's have a cup of tea. Very welcoming. And, and you're going to be, with her being a queen, all right, she's going to look at you guys as equal, but you're not going to be equals in that conversation. This is going to be a direct conversation to you, okay? And she's going to talk to you about prosperity. She's going to talk to you about luxury, right? She's going to talk to you about being loyal. And she's going to do so in a very frank way, okay? And, she also likes tradition, okay? And just like other signs, okay, she likes her stuff. And she may even bring that up. She goes, you know what? I've got all this stuff. And I like to collect it. I like to, look at it. But it's not practical. Somewhere along the line, I'm going to have to dispose of it, okay? But this was a $4 deal at a garage sale. It's worth $50. That's the practicality that she's going to try to talk to you about, all right? And that's the insight she's trying to give you when you're out there doing your rounds of shopping, looking for those deals, all right? The other question is, do you want it or do you need it? Two big questions. Ask yourself that question, when you're going up to a garage sale. Yeah, I'm just looking. Oh, that's really nice. Do you want it or do you need it? Two different scenarios, right? If this is an aspect that you may be going through or that she's going to present to you, she's going to look at and ask you, are you managing things wisely, right? Or are you overspending? We've been talking about that, for the last 10 days, asset allocation. Are you doing things wisely? Are you protecting your investments? Are you putting the maintenance into your house? Are you putting that maintenance into your car to keep it going so you don't have to buy a new one, new house or a new car, right? And, you know, when you do those things, when you can manage things wisely, you make things better. Okay, so you do a little upgrade in the house. Guess what? That just increased your home value when you want to sell it. Okay, you put new tires on your vehicle. All right, that doesn't help the resale value later, but it gets you through the next 80,000, 100,000 miles. Okay, and takes off the, you know, you don't have to worry about flat tires or anything like that. If this is an event that's going on, it's one that's going to be very expansive. You know, like, you know, I'll just use, you know, something I saw over the weekend. Neighborhood garage sales, very expansive. Every house, you know, had their tents up, and people were buying it, taking it to their house, and then they're, you know, it's kind of like a huge white elephant sale. What's yours is yours, and what's yours is mine. And guess what? You know, it just moves from one location to another, right? And it's also something that's very liberal. It's very easygoing. Okay, it doesn't have a lot to do with you know, finances or anything like that. But you know, it's very easy. Okay, and it's also, you know, I'm going to put the family first. If this is an event, garage sales, family first. Everybody's out here trying to sell their stuff. All right, this queen is going to be very family first, and you're part of the family. All right, she's going to do whatever she needs to do to help you along. Okay, to keep that emotional attitude of, hey, I have been successful. I am doing the right things. All right, my asset allocation is moving forward the way I want to do it. Okay. And the two questions that she's gonna sit down and ask you is, what needs to be preserved? And you're like, preserved? I mean, you know, that's like canning and stuff like that. No, it's not. Going back to the maintenance on the house. You want to preserve that apartment, you want to preserve that house, you're going to need to do some work on it. Okay? Managing those things wisely so that you have some place where you can lay your head down at the end of the night. All right? The other question is, she asks, is where can you make space? Look around in your stuff. Okay? And ask yourself, what is it? What is it that you have that you haven't touched in a year, 2 years, 3 years? And then ask yourself that question. Why do I have it? If I haven't touched it in 2 years, why do I have it? Oh, for a rainy day? Well, guess what? It might rain and it might flood, and now you're not even going to have it after the flood because you ruined it. So why not take that opportunity to go through your stuff and declutter and help out with that asset allocation? Put it on that Facebook marketplace, right? Take it to Goodwill, right? Have your own garage sale and make some money. That helps you with that asset allocation, okay? And at the same time you're doing that, you're making room for new things to come in. You don't have to keep everything protected and hoarded, right? She's gonna do that for you. But what she wants you to be is to have that attitude of stability, have that attitude of security, have that attitude of, you know what? I want to be stable in my life when it comes around finances. I was successful in the past. I'm going to be successful moving forward. All right. And you've got, the Knight of Bows is still down here. And he's looking at what opportunity are you seizing in this situation? Well, for me, if it was me, I'd be looking around saying, okay, what can I get rid of? What do I really need? Okay. And when I'm out and about, am I at a garage sale? Do I want that? Well, it could help me with this. Or do I need that? Those are the two questions that I always ask myself. And you should as well. So that's today's message of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the Queen of Stones and the Bear. She's taking on that protective attitude around you when it comes to your stability and security and the materialism. And she's going to look at things practically for you. So if this message resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, And leave a comment down below if you'd like. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.